What is going on YouTube? Hidden back making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Chainlink, as well as the S&P 500. Today will be the last week we look at Chainlink, and then we will be looking at another cryptocurrency come tomorrow. As you guys know, we do a different cryptocurrency here on the channel every single week with your guys' help. And on that note, definitely make sure to comment your favorite cryptocurrency down in the comments below, and I will be picking one for review tomorrow. Otherwise, more importantly, what we have to look at in today's video pretty much just deems previous targets that we have pretty much allocated as reasons for where we would buy into long some of these cryptocurrencies to the upside. As we know, we've pretty much discussed here on the channel now that markets are starting to switch from a bullish position to a bearish position and pretty much pull cryptocurrencies down with it. And as that's happening, we're trying to find some key support levels where we could hopefully buy into the coin, leverage it to the upside, or get ready to short the markets to the downside. We have a few positions already set up that I do want to discuss with you guys in the near future. Otherwise, if you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up as this does help support the YouTube algorithm. Also, remember to join us over at Discord as we have over 1,400 active community members where we talk about cryptocurrency as well as the next positions to buy into. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, now before I jump in, I just had a question for some of you guys. Hopefully you can answer it down below. As we know, markets are starting to kind of burn off and start to appear exhausted on most of the cryptocurrencies that we've discussed here on the channel. And as you guys know, we've had a pretty good run for the past couple of months, and we've had a lot of people talk about just the amount of profits that they've made within cryptocurrency. So I was curious as to whether or not you guys wanted to see a video basically talking about where I've pretty much moved most of my cryptocurrency profits, moving them out of cryptocurrency and into other more conservative aspects of investing into the future. If you guys are interested in seeing those positions that I've made, definitely make sure to comment down below. I'd love to hear it, as well as if you're interested in learning how exactly you pay taxes on cryptocurrency. I know that's going to be a big question for some of you guys, so definitely make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, more importantly, what we're going to be looking at in today's video is basically looking at these cryptos. We have XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Chainlink. As you guys can see here on the current coin market cap, top 10 cryptocurrencies for the most part are pretty much just stagnant. We're up about 3% overall in the market. Cardano's the only one that's pretty much exploding, but it's also one of the coins that had the biggest hit. So it's really just consolidating back to where it originally was on the coin. Now, most of these cryptocurrencies really aren't moving that much in regards to the 7-day movement. They're up about, wow, we even have coins up 100%, but we're up about 30 to 50% overall in regards to the 7-day movement. We've seen a very big drop on some of these cryptos this week, and then they've pretty much just reversed back up there. You can see a couple of days ago, we were at 46 cents on XRP, currently trading at 87. So we've seen a pretty significant increase in price. Now, not only Ethereum, but I do want to look at, XRP I was referring to, but I also want to look at Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Chainlink. So ultimately, for those that are new to the channel, what I want to discuss with you guys is basically finding bottoms and pretty much figuring out when we would buy in for the next run to the upside. So as we know, a quick refresh on these cryptocurrencies is XRP has a lower high formation forming on this cryptocurrency. And we know that there is a clear resistance set at $1. $1 on XRP seems to be a resistance level for this cryptocurrency. As we've been battling it for the past couple of days, we would normally hit this, retest it, and reverse downwards. We're finding key support levels closer to 80 cents, and we are starting to what could be form some sort of uptrend here. Now, there's only 2 confirmations, which isn't enough to form some sort of uptrend, but I am just keeping that in the back of my mind in regards to when it does decide to form. We could maybe use that to gear ourselves and let ourselves pretty much figure out when that next reversal could be for XRP specifically. So right now, a lot of crypto traders aren't really investing into the market just this second. A lot of people pretty much have sold off, as we've seen in yesterday's episode. But for right now, what we're looking at is just to let these markets consolidate out. Like I said, I am a conservative trader, so I don't like to just throw money into the account and hope that, we profit nicely, because there's a good chance you'll lose most of your money doing that. It's not a good strategy. What we've built is a conservative approach to when we should be investing in. We find key levels of resistance and key levels of support, and then we discuss when those are broken. That's when we buy in. So ultimately, $1 is where we're looking at for XRP. So we're seeing resistance off here. We're waiting for another retest of $1. And if we can close above this daily resistance level, it should allow us to break up bullish. Now, as days and days continue, we're going to see a harder retest on this coin. Right now, as you can see, this downtrend right here is forming. And ultimately, we are having quite a bit of resistance on that level. So if we do take a couple of days and we finally break $1, we might only be able to retest $1.16 instead of what could have been $1.28 as we let these markets consolidate. Ultimately, if we break $1, we need to retest this resistance right here and then come up to retest this resistance and ultimately gain back inside this moving average right here in this sideways channel. So ultimately, that's what we're looking for, and that seems to be key. But there's a lot of resistance in the way that we would have to battle in order to break ourselves back into that level. So things aren't necessarily looking too good for some of these cryptocurrencies, especially XRP. But what we can use is other cryptocurrencies to gauge exactly when we could be seeing a breakout within XRP. And I've actually been using Ethereum for the most part to gauge whether or not we would be breaking up. Notice a few things here. Ethereum has a beautiful ascending fractal that's been forming on this cryptocurrency. And not only that, it's actually been retesting its moving average. You can see this was pretty much just all FOMO at this top level right here. Anything above there was just FOMO and people buying in. But now that we're inside our ascending fractal, we can kind of consider this level right up here as resistance and this being our support. So there's a lot of room to play around in here. And hopefully we can continue our ascending fractal right now and actually start to trend back to the upside, retest resistance here. I don't like to trade inside candles. It just doesn't, or inside ascending fractals. It just doesn't make sense to do so because there's so much more volatility. Really what I look for is retesting of bottom supports and retesting of top resistances that will allow us to gauge the direction, usually the opposite of where that coin wants to move to. So ultimately what I'm looking for within Ethereum is for us to retest support here. Hopefully we can hold above it and swing back to the upside. If not, we are going to be using this as a support level. And if it does decide to breach below here and we close the daily below here, expect to see a reversal to the downside, which would ultimately mean we're probably going to see that same thing happen within XRP and reverse downwards as well. Now, not only Ethereum I want to look at, but also Bitcoin, Chainlink, and the S&P 500. I'm also noticing that Bitcoin seems to be, it seems to have found a support level as well that's holding fairly nicely. You can see the past couple of months since October of 2020, we've been using this uptrend for quite some time now. And then back in December, so about 2 months after we found it, decided to just ascend ourselves away and just create this FOMO, moonshot all the way up to $64,000. Since then, we've reversed back down. We have a bearish cross on the MACD, but we are looking to see a bullish cross on the, bearish cross on the moving average, a bullish cross on the MACD. And we are creating a lower high formation right now on the relative strength indicator. All of this is leading towards a more bullish approach to things. I still think we're extremely undervalued within Bitcoin, and I do believe we should be able to rally back up and ultimately pull XRP up with it, which would be nice, as well as Ethereum. So as we start to balance off and retest these support levels right here, if Bitcoin, and this is key guys, if Bitcoin can actually hold support at this uptrend right here, it should allow ourselves to swing back up to retest our current target of $48,000 and retesting that moving average on Bitcoin. So that's really what we're waiting for. It's pretty much just a waiting game. Obviously, if we can manage to break through here, we are going to be faced with a retest of 40K. If we can break through 40K, we will and should rally up to $48,000. So right now we're trading inside of this channel here, which seems to be between $30,000 and $40,000 on Bitcoin, which doesn't seem to be a viable time to buy in because as we know right now, at any moment we could break down to 30K and lose money or break up and retest 40K. And if we were planning on shorting it, we could also lose money. So it doesn't make sense to trade inside channels as discussed here on the channel. Now, what we're looking for is confirmations of breaches. We know that if we break through bottom support at 30K, it's a good opportunity to short this to the downside. We also know, vice versa, if we break through 40K, we know to buy in long and leverage it up to $48,000. And a leverage on $8,000 seems to be fairly profitable. We're going to be using Bityard to actually leverage these cryptocurrencies. I've been using Bityard for quite some time now. It deems one of the best websites I've used to actually leverage trade positions, buy and long, create stop losses, and short the market. Not only that, they have dozens of cryptocurrencies available. So ultimately, I am waiting for Bitcoin to pretty much make up its mind. We're starting to consolidate right now, which looks good. And then I will be putting on a leverage trade to the upside on BitYard. So definitely make sure that you are signed up for BitYard. It's completely free. They do offer a sign up bonus too. Now, ultimately, we are looking at Bitcoin to pretty much gauge which direction we want to move to, and that will ultimately influence Ethereum and XRP. XRP, it seems to be fairly difficult to actually trade or track the coin right now with this movement, and that's why I tell people not to just focus on XRP as the next, coin to buy into, or when we should be buying into, because there's not enough support levels and resistances, or just, technical indicators that would allow us to buy back in confidently. But what I do see is Ethereum showing better signs and Bitcoin showing the best sign for what's coming into the rest of the market. So that's why I'm hyper focused on Bitcoin right now. And those should ultimately influence and lead Ethereum and XRP to those next movements. So if we see Bitcoin breaking up, we know Ethereum and XRP are going to be doing the same thing. So that's why we're focusing on Bitcoin for right now. So if we see Bitcoin break through 40K, expect to see a run to the upside. Vice versa, breaking through 30K, we're shorting it to the downside. Right now, I'm leaning more towards a bullish break, and I do believe that maybe by the end of, June, so we're in May, and into June, we should be able to see a retest to 48K. I do think we're going to see a small swing to the upside in June, which is fairly nice, and that should swing the rest of the market up with it. So I do believe XRP will also swing up with Ethereum, and I do think we're going to break through here. Reason behind that is because we are going to pretty much see a bullish cross on the MACD right now on Bitcoin. We are fairly undervalued and oversold on the relative strength indicator. As you can see, there is that lower high formation which keeps forming, and every time we retested oversold, we'd swing back up to retest top resistance. We are undervalued and below the moving average, and we are nowhere near our resistance level just yet at 46. We're currently at 33. So there is a small window of opportunity, which should be interesting, which either the price is going to retest 40K and retest top resistance, or it's going to hit 48,000 and retest top resistance. What really I'm looking for, which would lock in how high this trade is going to move to, is where this moving average wants to go to. So if this moving average actually hits this top resistance and the price only retests $40,000, then we might actually buy in to short the market at 40K for a run back down to 30K. $10,000 swing to the downside on a leveraged short is fairly profitable. But really what we're looking on is this level right here. I do think we are headed up. I think within the next couple of weeks, we're guaranteed to be heading up. I don't know how high though. It's either going to hit 40K and reverse downwards, or we're going to hit 48K and reverse downwards. Either direction, we are going to profit on not only a leverage to the upside, but a short to the downside. So that's pretty much where my head's at on Bitcoin. Chainlink as well is having some problems, as you guys know. We did sell off just at $34, if not $35 is where I took my profits. Reason being, there was a lot of resistance on this coin. Not only battling its moving average, but the ascending triangle, we were hitting resistance, and we had a downtrend that formed. All of these were just negative annotations forming against Chainlink, which would ultimately, gear us to reverse downwards. We're still waiting and hoping that we break inside this ascending fractal, which would be great, but ultimately it is being led by Bitcoin and the rest of the market. So everything is pretty much relying on Bitcoin right now to decide which direction we're going to be moving to. Right now, my positions are open. I have nothing invested in just yet. And we're going to wait and see which direction we move to, because we just need a little more confirmation. Otherwise, the S&P 500 looked okay. I still believe we're going to be heading up back to about 40, maybe 4,400 points moving forward. But otherwise, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, as this does help support the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.